Aloha, and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Sakamoto Properties, Caldwell Banker, Kapalua. Cindy Paulus is here in the studio with me today. We gave Roy a day off. We aren't quite sure what he's doing, but he could do a call-in at some point.
Oh, fun.
We'll
fun.
see what happens, but
Yeah.
he is kind of busy, really.
Well, he works very hard.
He does work very hard.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, both you and him are very, very smart. You really are.
Maybe.
You're very,
No, we
very
are.
smart. Oh, yes, you are.
No, we are smart.
You are
We really
very smart.
are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that. We were really talking about what we're going to talk about, and I had this flash that next week is Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes. Do you have a turkey yet?
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, there we go. See, there's a win.
And when you have two people, it's not worth buying a turkey.
Well, especially if one of them
doesn't eat turkey.
You could invite some people.
I'm going to go out and have turkey somewhere with someone who eats turkey, but I'm not going to eat the turkey. I have all the side dishes.
The side dishes
very
are
good.
fabulous.
They're the best part.
Now, what if somebody has put a little bit of like turkey gravy?
I pretend I don't know.
Okay, then it doesn't bother
Denial
anybody.
is not just a river in the Nile
No,
in Egypt, yeah.
no,
You
it's
can
not. No,
Use
you just-
denial.
You just kind of do it. Well, Cindy and I talked last night trying to figure out what we were going to talk about today. And finally, at the end, decided we weren't going to make a plan.
Right. It's
You know.
Thanksgiving coming up. You won't be here next week. So I always feel that Thanksgiving, strangely enough for me and many people I know, is their favorite holiday of the year.
I really do like Thanksgiving a lot.
Yeah.
I loved Christmas when my daughter was young and my sister had
Right.
lots of young kids, and
Yeah.
it was great. It was fabulous. It was a different world at the time. I mean, for us
Right.
at the time. And then time goes on, and typically we're not together for Christmas.
Aw.
Although last Christmas she came to Maui with her family. Now her family is all growing up now too, but they all came, and this year they're going to come again. And that'll be great because
nice.
it probably won't go on and on and on. It's expensive, for everybody to make that commitment to come
Very,
here.
Very.
They're going to be here a week. One of the kids is out of college now and working, and then next one plays soccer for University of Washington, UW.
Wow.
And, yeah, he's a good player, really great player.
That's nice.
And he's doing good. And then the next one, Alexandra, she has been here on the show.
Yeah.
And she's really bright and wonderful. And she is now studying epidemiology at, UCLA. How stupid.
That's
I
a
couldn't
wonderful
remember that
school.
one.
That's
It's a wonderful school.
Yeah.
And getting in was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And she got in kind of quite easily, but she'll be here too. So it's going to be a great Christmas.
Isn't that nice?
And it'll be
able
a
to have
short
that?
period.
I
you know.
think that's just a blessing to be able to have that.
It really is. I mean, we'll have such a great time.
Yeah.
We will probably.
Do you do trees?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You get a tree.
Except there is the cat in the tree. Remember, we have
Uh-oh.
2 cats.
Oh, that could be an issue.
It is. This year we have a new kitten,
Uh-oh.
and the kitten is growing fast.
Yes, they do that.
Yes, but this one is going to somehow. Oh, I know that she'll be the death of us.
Well,
She's- She's so great. We just love her.
you have to be so careful that they don't knock things off the tree because they
Well, we
think
got to
they're-
be careful what we're putting on the tree.
right, and they think they're play toys. They
They
will
do.
bat them around, and
So you try
one
to-
of their life examples is go. How hard can I hit this and make it fall?
How can I spin it across the room
Right.
so it crashes?
Yeah, they have that very well planned out. So
Yep,
and all of a
we
sudden
do.
you go, okay, I can't get things on the tree with the cats in the room, and I can't get anything that will break if
No.
they hit the tree, or the cats go in another room. But how do you ever keep the cats out of the room where the tree is?
No, you
It's-
can't.
You
There's
can't.
we don't
Yeah.
have a way of locking them up.
Yeah.
And somebody will climb the tree.
Oh gosh, that's
The
dangerous.
younger one will figure out it's not fun because if he gets stuck in the tree, it doesn't feel real good. And then we have to rescue.
I won't say what could go wrong.
No,
But what could go wrong?
but it's Christmas, and it'll
But
be
it's Christmas.
whatever it is. It'll be fabulous.
I know you will have it. And you know what? What a blessing, really, to have your family.
Oh, it is
It's
great.
that's
We're going
a
to
real
have.
blessing. That's something to be thankful for on Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for my family.
Roy and I, you recall, have 4 kids or 5 kids between us.
Yeah.
He has 4. We have 1. So that's the only one that'll be here. So it's always a little hard. But it'll be perfect because it's what can happen. And they all have other commitments, other things going on, et cetera. One of these years, maybe we'll try to get everyone together. But to do that, we need to get more housing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's not easy to put everybody together.
Yeah.
We've been together for pushing 50 years. But still, if you try to put 5 kids together, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And then grandkids.
And
so
you know
it's
how
hard.
expensive it is if they want to stay.
That's right.
Where they're going to stay and how much.
Well, that's it. I mean, we'd have to get housing. Anyway, we're not going to do that. But we're going to have a great Christmas this year. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, you need that.
And meanwhile, what do? We sell real estate. But today, Cindy and I are thinking we're going to drift around on everything that we can tell you that's going to be happy and ready for the holidays.
Yes.
And things to think about.
Well, is it true? Now, someone told me that in real estate that actually December is not the month that a lot of people buy.
It's not. Definitely not.
Yeah. And is that because they're just busy with Christmas and they don't want to think of...
I think so. I think early everybody's shopping, more or less, and those people aren't here yet, the ones that would be coming here theoretically.
They theoretically get about mid-December or the third week?
I would say after Christmas.
It's after Christmas?
Yeah, I think so, or the Christmas week. But again, it depends, and you'll always hear of someone that had the sale of their lifetime, a realtor, over the holidays.
Wow.
And that's really great because it's hard on people, even if you want to do it. I don't know, any of us really, where the market's going right now. The upper end of the market, I think, is still pretty hot. You know?
It was I thought I read this last week that the average price of a home, or that had gone up to, it's up to $1.3 million? Is that
the average?
Is it $1.3 million? I heard it went up another $100,000.
It probably did, but it's because the upper end keeps going up. The upper.
That's the truth.
The multi-million.
Yeah.
And a lot of the middle almost doesn't exist so much. There have been a variety of lower nice places, so you hate to say it's a lower. It's not. There's still really great properties. And I think
what would you call the lower end? Because I don't really know. I don't follow enough what a price on a lower end home would be.
Well, we're talking home, meaning condominium or home.
Well, there's a big difference. I'm talking about an actual home.
An actual home. The lower end, is probably over $1 million.
That's a lower
However,
end.
when you say that,
I know.
there are homes that are substantially less. A lot of them will need a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I think somebody can still get into the market.
Wow.
I don't follow everything.
Right.
But I think that all around the island, you'll find and I should have done it before coming here today, if you just did a printout of every home that's on the market.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to every other realtor that we're all talking, you'll hear someone say, I've got this great listing at such and such, and I can't believe we haven't sold it yet. And, again, if you come up with somebody looking at that, it could turn out to be really the deal of the century. I think if somebody wants to have a home, and I remember the first home that we had, we thought we paid too much, but we didn't. It was fine. You had to do it. You wanted to do it. You did it. We lived there for a long time, and when we later sold it, we did really well.
I'm sure you did.
So it's
because
just...
it does seem the market continues.
It does,
yes. And up and up.
And
that's not just Maui, by the way.
No.
The whole entire country.
Pretty much so.
Seems to be going up.
I think there's places, like I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and everybody wants to make fun of Buffalo because of the weather.
I won't do that then.
No, please, try not to. Because Buffalo is the greatest. I love Buffalo. Could I live there again? I've been here now almost 50 years. Oh. I don't think I could. No. I think, I'm sorry to say this out loud, I'm too old to be sliding around on wet streets. I'm too old to go skidding on black ice when you walk to get to your car.
Wow, yeah.
Or to have my car do a 360 driving along where Lake Erie is, which I did a long time ago. You've just got to be so careful, everything that you do, and I think I've been here too long. I like to visit my family, and I haven't done that recently, but I should, and it's hard to get everybody from Buffalo to come here. And they've all been here at least once, but it still is. It's a long, long trip. It's an expensive trip. And
It is. And you do travel. People may not know this because you don't usually talk about that, but you do travel a lot.
I guess
You do.
We
you
do.
just did a trip
Well,
to
we
Las
did.
Vegas, right?
no, we actually did a trip to California,
Oh, I
which
thought you
was
went
for
to Las
a
Vegas.
medical appointment. And then following that, we
Yeah.
did very confidentially. We aren't telling the whole world
thank
about
you.
it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you,
about that.
everybody. That's okay. We did go, I'm just kidding, Las Vegas for a couple of nights, and we had a great time there. I don't know. Roy and I both enjoy it. We get there every so often. If we're going to pass by, we'll try to go there for a couple of days. We see a show, and it was actually 3 nights, and we saw a show every night that we were there.
Wow.
Don't ask me what we saw, but they were great. I mean, it's so fun to do that,
Yeah.
to just mindlessly pick shows. We don't go to the ones that are over $1,000. I just don't think there's anything I want to see
Yeah.
that's that expensive, but we'll go to one of the newer things, and they're great.
Yeah.
So we love being there. It's fabulous.
Absolutely. So during this time when you are thinking, okay, maybe that's not happening as far as big homes as much, but there seems
No, the
to-
big homes are selling.
They are selling.
They are selling. There's just, again, it's a limited inventory,
Yeah.
and it's a limited number of people that are buying them.
So how in your higher market, I've always wanted to ask you this, because you have the most amazing clientele. And a lot of it, is it a lot of it through referral, friends telling friends, or how do some of these people know? And I know we don't usually talk about this, but you've been in this business for a long, long
Yes.
time.
Yeah, I moved here, and pretty quickly, I worked in real estate law in Chicago when I moved here. I worked for a large law firm, Sidley and Austin, which was the largest in the country at the time. Fabulous attorneys. And so I came here, and getting a job was not that simple. And nobody with a law firm was dying to pay me a lot. And Roy was already in real estate, so I went ahead and got a real estate license right away. And it's been really great. I mean, over the years, we've sold a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We happen to have been able to move into the upper end of the market. We've recently had a huge house sale, which I can't remember the price right now, but mammoth. And we've had a lot of those over the years.
Yeah.
Pineapple Hill, the prices have gone up drastically. And I think they'll continue to, because Kapalua still has everything. It's got 2 of the greatest golf courses in the world.
Yeah.
They're not cheap to play, but they get a special rate for owners. So I think Kapalua is amazing. If you're there at any time, there's people out walking, and you'll see whole families going up and down the streets. And I think Kapalua is glorious. I mean, it's amazing.
You've been there a long time, and you know a lot of the people.
Yep, we lived in the early days. We made this a joke, but it was funny at the time because it was great. But we lived in so many places over the years, because we'd live sometimes in a place that was for sale, but they were happy to have us there because it was harder to find
Right.
renters. And we always took care and made it look better than it looked and showed it and sold it. And then we'd move on. And then we were fortunate to build a house in Ohana, which was, again, so fun and so amazing. And we kept it after we ended up able to buy the Pineapple Hill house. But then eventually it was a pretty big job. Even though you could hire someone, we felt better handling it. And then we finally sold it to someone that was really great. And of course, they sold it maybe a year later for a huge amount. And I kept thinking, why didn't we hang on? But they were the greatest people, and it was good. They made a great decision.
But in this business, as you know, I've seen a lot of people think they could go in and get rich quick in real estate, and they get their license and they think they can just do it. And I think there may have been a time way back when that might have been possible, but I think those days are pretty much gone. I think it goes in reputation, and I could be wrong, but I think it goes in reputation a lot, doesn't it?
It does, but I also think if somebody gets into the real estate business and it's what they really want to do, and they make themselves available to people.
Somebody named Roy wants to talk.
Roy,
wait. I think this is going to be Roy Sakamoto calling in. Are you going to tell us to stop talking about personal things?
No, Sounds like you guys are having too much fun.
We are having fun. We kind of are laughing a lot because we started talking about how much real estate we were going to talk about and how much this. And then Cindy was asking me questions, and I kind of got from one thing to another and Christmas.
We haven't gotten to your relationship with Roy and how you met him and all that. That was going to be the next subject.
Here we go again. That could come up next. You might want to turn the radio off.
Or on.
I think so.
Yeah. Everything.
One thing I wanted to bring up, though, is that we're involved in this celebration to honor our first responders and those that were instrumental after the Lahaina fires.
December 15th, remembering Lahaina. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a few of us that are getting together to help sponsor this. It'll be at the Old Lahaina Luau. It's a Sunday evening. And we're inviting as many of the first responders as we can find who are involved, as well as those who offered shelter and comfort to, especially in the first few days after the fire. People with like Maui Prep, and various other organizations. So just wanted to point that out, that it's time that we honor people who really step forward and in a lot of instances put their lives on the line to help evacuate citizens and to take care of them.
Well, when you think, Roy, you're right. I mean, remember where we were that day, which was just a place where people needed to be. And I know that we helped out a lot. It wasn't monumental. Our life was never at stake or anything. But there's so many of these people that were there on Front Street and evacuated people. And many of them got sick afterwards, because of the smoke inhalation. And I'm sure at the time they were doing it, they never thought about it or never cared if they could help somebody. Seal McDonald, who just passed away, which is so sad. I mean, everybody who remembers Seal, she's just an amazing, amazing woman. And she was Rosie the Riveter, from World War II. And she was one of a very limited number of people. And she was 98 when she when she passed away. But she actually was there. Her house burned down. She had an oceanfront home. Her husband had long since passed away. And she's been by herself. She was a great friend of Lori Castillo and the family. And Lori moved away quite a while ago. But such an amazing, amazing woman. I will never forget her. And it's a tragedy she's gone, but she did die at 98. And I saw her driving a while ago, and she was so with it and so on it, and that was after the fires. So there's so many people like this that we've all got to try to remember and say thank you. I mean, maybe no one will get invited to this or invited to that or do whatever, but, we all know who they are, and if we keep remembering when we see them, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, to any first responders who are tuning in, I'd like to reach out and have you contact us with your name, phone number, and so forth. We'd like to invite you to this event. It's at Old Lahaina Luau, December 15th, starting at 5 o'clock. It's not going to be a formal program or presentation or whatever, but we'd like to just thank you personally. So please contact us. My number, 808-870-7060, or Betty at 808-870-7062.
Roy, when we're saying first responders, we're primarily referring to the police department, the fire department, because obviously our number of people we can have there is fairly limited, but it's the people that were truly first responders. I mean, there were other people who were equally first responders, and in so many ways that it would be very difficult to be able to make it work for everyone. But to a certain extent, we're going to do our best. And there's a lot there's another group, so you'll talk to people that are involved in this, and I think it will be spectacular. It'll be really.
Roy, what location is that at again?
Old Lahaina Luau.
Old Lahaina Luau, and the day of the week, not just the date, but the day of the week?
It's on a Sunday evening.
A Sunday.
And,
Because
right.
they're not doing the luau then, but there'll be X number
Gotcha.
of the luau it'll be the Old Lahaina Luau, but it won't be the whole thing, or
Right.
we wouldn't be able to have
Right.
Everything else that goes with trying to say thank you.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing for people to do. We should do a PSA on that and get that going.
I think we will. Good
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
I mean, what she's saying is we need to do a public service announcement for whatever we're
Right.
trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. And
So-
thanks to Michael Moore and his group at Old Lahaina Luau. They've really stepped to the front and are willing to help us do this. So it's great.
It'll be really exciting.
I'm so glad you're doing this. Really, it's a
And it's
wonderful
not
tribute.
totally us, because it started
Right.
with Marianne Fitch, or maybe not started, Nam Leviette. Who were some of the others that got this off the ground, Roy?
Tamara Goodfellow. There's a bunch of people, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It is going to be really exciting, and everybody just got started on it, and so it's going to be a short fuse, but I think it will be pretty spectacular. It will be, it'll be great.
Absolutely, and it's a small way of giving thanks again to these people. It's a very small token of our thank you.
Yes, it'll be pretty spectacular, and it'll be fun. The entertainment will be great, and it'll be an early Christmas, and hopefully it'll spread, and we can all figure out things that we can do for the first responders, because many of them have had difficulties
Yes.
since the fires.
Well,
Absolutely.
a lot of them lost their homes, and
Yeah.
That's right.
They put their lives at risk, and we can't thank them enough.
No,
What always amazes me is how they take it so personally. They care so much, and I think sometimes we don't realize that long after the event that it's still in their mind, and they still. I know some of the firefighters. I
Yes.
don't know the police.
No, I agree.
officers so
Same
much,
thing. Yeah.
But their whole mind is set to try to save lives, to help people, and when things don't happen as they would like them to be, as none of this is how you would like it to be. It hurts them, and it really felt, a lot of the firefighters felt just completely broken up about the fact
Yes.
they couldn't save more lives.
and like you said, though, a lot of the same people had to worry about their own family and
Yes.
where they were
Yeah.
and their children and what was going on, and they were working. They couldn't just walk
Right,
away and go
right.
to take care of their family. They had to maybe have friends, other colleagues, whatever, to take care of their closest people, because it was all that they could do.
Yeah.
But right now, again, we're back out there. It's in a way glorious. Everything is wonderful. It couldn't be better. You drive through Lahaina, you see what's happening in Waiakuli. It's so sad to just look that way. It's horrible. But we're coming through it. And I'm sure those who are trying to build a home, it's so hard for them. Nobody had enough insurance. We're down to 1 minute, which is only 60 seconds.
Always a pleasure to be here with you,
It's
and thank
been
you.
so
It's
great.
always great to hear from you, Roy. We love you
This
both.
has been great. If we still have 1 minute? Okay, I have only but a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it.
I love it.
Aloha.
Aloha.